Well, it's that time again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the interview with Craig-Veltri.
Thank you, Megan Pennington. And welcome to the interview. Almost a year ago today, we were introduced to a Harrisburg, PA band called Ruiness. Their lead singer, Ariana Troni, spoke about her life, the startup of the band, and how quickly her life was changing as a result of the immediate buzz that they had earned, including, after the interview, winning Best New Band at the Central Pennsylvania Music Awards. The latest single, Ignite, is certainly a have fun storming the castle kind of metal song, and it will be my pleasure to play it at the end of this episode. Recording in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and calling in all the way from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Here she is, Ariana Troni. Ariana, or Ari if you prefer, welcome to the interview.
Thanks for having me again. I'm excited.
You talked a lot about Settle Down being a song about you kind of lamenting your 9 to 5. You actually revealed in the interview we're getting ready to change from one full-time job in HR to another full-time job in HR. How close are you now to being full-time rock star?
In my dreams, yeah. It's definitely still what feels like a 50-50 hustle. The music stuff's definitely starting to feel like its own full-time job, which is always, can be a fun thing in its own way. But I do enjoy the job that I changed to as my, bread maker for right now. That's pretty cool. It's a food distribution company. Can't really give too much on
Of
that, but
course.
it does have some fun perks in the sense of like getting to try some interesting food and whatnot, which is, and I get some really weird artistic freedom there too. So that definitely scratches that itch way more than when I was feeling that when writing Settle Down.
Uh, well, I'll say this about Settle Down. That song, and I've been doing this for almost 4 years. I have about 200 different episodes. Almost every single one of them has featured a song, maybe sans about 20, 30 episodes. So I've listened to about close to 170 songs for this thing alone. I will never do a
Wow.
ranking, but I will say that Settle Down remains, and I'll say this to everybody, one of my favorite songs still to this day. And the sound that you guys still managed to have carried over through your last set of singles, I'm you talk about the writing process that you guys are doing. It was kind of a ping pong kind of thing. Is that still the thing that gets the songs written and out?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're just learning more in the game of ping pong essentially, but it's definitely that. I still come up with like a tap on my leg, send my guitar player, me singing some kind of melody I created with the lyrics, and then he'll build something around that, or he'll be like, "Hey, I created this. Can you do something with this?" And I'll be like, "Sure." We have a new producer. Shout out Hayden. He is the current guitar player for If Not For Me, and he is an incredible ear. He is an incredible brain to pick, and he's just so talented when it comes to mixing and mastering. He gets what our vibe is, what we're looking for, and just really helps build that. And I think that really speaks volumes in like what I feel is growth for us. But we definitely otherwise are doing the same thing.
Can you point to something a little more specific? Like what does this new producer like? Can you like what's one thing that you are doing now that you weren't doing when you were starting?
I know better questions to ask. I'm starting to hear more than I used to be able to. It's no discredit to anyone that we've worked
Of
with in the
course not.
past. I just think it's more of a I didn't know how to say it, but Hayden gets what I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
And I get to see him one on one whenever the other one we had prior, Chris, phenomenal man, constantly on tour on the road. We didn't really get to do the intimacy of like actually being in their studio and working with them directly that way. And I think that adds an extra layer to what we're doing now. Even though if not for me's popping off, so we're like, hey, they come back. Let us
Well,
go.
well, I'm sure he'll find his way back to Central PA at some point. But the output still seems to remain on singles. Last year, you were saying that Ruiness is working on an album, and we said a year later, and it's three singles. Is that just what's more efficient for you guys at the moment, or is there a
We're as we're still learning with the way that the world's changing, because dropping a whole album could waste potential of individual songs getting highlighted in ways that they might deserve. And we've had some people more established than whenever we first were getting our toes dipped in the water there, give us very positive receptive feedback to what we do have recorded a full album. Like it is ready. It's just a matter of getting like the artworks and everything finalized, like the extra behind the scenes stuff. But I was very humbled and flattered to hear, more seasoned ears say that they feel just dropping an album would be a waste to a lot of the songs on it. And I was like, okay, so we're trying waterfall releasing. That's just new thing for me as well with navigating this, but it seems to be doing well. And then we just kind of have to keep up with the momentum. So I'm trying to get better with social media before just like boom, full album,
What I
if that makes sense.
I've had one or two artists over the last couple of years have said what they've done is usually they do the waterfall and then it's a physical record, an album, vinyl, CD, what have you. Is that the end game for you?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah. Now I don't know that we'll do every single song as like single, 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 and then eventually just boom, it's an album. I still think we'll have a couple that you won't get to hear until it's all fully on that first one. But yeah, but we're cooking up some other stuff that I think we're keeping shush for now. But we're scheming some other stuff for future too to kind of help get that ball roll quicker then.
I think we wait for it on bated breath. Ariana Troni on the Craig-Veltri interview, proud member of the Scarfire Media Podcast Network. The brand new website, scarfiremedia.com, is live now. Check out all the services that we can offer you here on this wonderful platform called Scarfire Media, including the Scarfire Media Podcast Network. I believe the Flame will be coming back up very soon. And check out all the great podcasts on the Scarfire Media Podcast Network, including the Cool Brother Podcast, including Emmy Susani's brand new podcast, including Mommy Rockstar coming very soon. And thank you for listening to the Craig-Veltri interview. So the three singles that have come out since Settle Down, After Lifeline, The Decline, and of course Ignite, which we will talk about later. The After Lifeline is the one I believe that got yourself a full music video treatment. You had it's just live footage of you and the band. It was After Lifeline, full footage of you and the band. Why was this song one that you wanted to bring up, and why did you feel that it would be most representative for Ruiness on celluloid or digital video?
Well, I feel it was our strongest song at the time. And also, I've felt the most writing that one. The song itself is a sad song. It's a song written in grief. Had a friend commit, and I wasn't as close to that friend as a lot of my very close friends were. So it was like dealing with my own grieving process to it, but also being very receptive to those I was around all the time that were going through it worse. That was my grieving, was writing it. So I think it just resonated harder with me that that was my choice one, but also it's the one that I think a lot of people just sang back the most, that were like, yeah, this is our hype song. If we were going to do like some kind of like live video to something, this would be the one. So at the time, for sure, that one.
For a song that is that somber, I want to have two follow-ups for that. Number one, After Lifeline, how did that concept come to you in the writing process?
I don't have a good answer for that. It just kind of just shows up. Like Ruiness is my first time taking myself serious in writing and actually trying it and pushing it. And it's ever since I've kind of gotten rid of that like mental block that held me back
Right.
from it. It's just, bleh, and it just comes up. It just happens. Like I don't know what else to say with it, but
Well,
it just occurs, and it's sometimes really quick. And I'm like, oh, and then sometimes I'm like looking up adjectives of things of like, okay, not adjectives, synonyms.
synonyms, yeah.
Geez. Yeah, because I want to get certain points across, but I'm like, there has to be something that's going to flow better with this. But after Lifeline just kind of happened, like that just flew out from the experience of what I was going
Well,
through.
it's definitely not a ballad. So my second question is this: I remember Garth Brooks, completely different genre, but follow me on this one. Garth Brooks
Sure.
had written a song called "Good Ride Cowboy" about his late friend Chris Ledoux. And his thought process was Chris Ledoux's life was not going to be mourned because every moment of Chris Ledoux's life was a celebration. Was that kind of the idea of the musical background to these rather somber lyrics?
Yeah, I mean, I think the musical background just stems honestly from my influence as a musician. Haley Williams, early Paramore, think all that. That was my biggest like influential part in my life with music. So
Still
I
is
feel it
present.
reflects. I'm sorry?
Still is present.
Yeah, yeah. And huge influence on who I am as a musician. So I think that just kind of comes out with like the writing. Like that's what always got me with hers was like her hooks and like the no matter what she would sing about, it would still also be upbeat in its own way for the most part. She's definitely dipped more into that melancholy sound now, which I also love and I'm dipping into too. So ballads, we do have those coming up as well. Note that I said plural, but when it comes to that one particularly, I kind of took the more somber side whenever the bridge would happen, and I would just do that like really long, held out note because it's almost like a calling kind of thing. Like that was more of the grief side, I think. Like it was just feeling behind that. But otherwise, I just kind of wanted to scream it out. I think just screaming it out, getting it out would be best. So we did.
Well, the one that you definitely do scream out, and it is the latest single, "Ignite," "Light It Up." Uh, I something considering how primal and guttural your music, where it comes from, is what I'm trying to say. I can only imagine that something going on in your life or going on in the zeitgeist is just saying "burn it down." Was that? Am I on the right track with that?
Yeah, pretty much. I say that it's like a song of hope for the hopeless, like an offering hand situation of like, hey, whatever's holding you back, setting you back, like let's get out of that,
So more
let's
of a
do
light in the
this.
darkness, really.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's my Haley Williams. It's just a spark, but it's enough to keep me going. From
Well,
yeah, so
well, immediately after you guys, not immediately, but as your singles output initially started coming through, you spoke very glowingly about your local scene, glowingly about the Central PA Music Awards and their voting committee. They must have heard you singing their praises, or at the very least, just well, plain heard the record because they gave you best new band last year. They nominated you this year. The immediate praise from your local media. What has that meant to you?
everything.
Everything.
Everything. Yeah, honestly, because it's if you don't have fans, what are you doing? And it's not I'm not saying that you need to have like hundreds and thousands, but like you need an audience, right?
Of
Like
course.
at least in my feeling of like that's what I enjoy about it is the sense of everyone just kind of having that distraction in that moment and just vibing. So the fact that I'm able to do something that gives people that temporary release, that's all I've ever wanted. If I can keep going, keep climbing, cool. I'm gonna keep trying. But like if this is where it stays, I mean it is what it is. Like I'm still having the best time. But it just we keep getting some like neat opportunities or just really really good feedback to the point that I feel like I'd be a fool to not at least keep trying. So
Where
it's been
do,
just great.
immediately within we kind of talked last year about goals as well. Where do you and I do want to talk about the decline, but since we're on the subject, but you seem very goal oriented. Your band seems very goal oriented. What are some of your goals for this year?
For this year, I want to get better at content. I want to get faster at it. I want to make better content. I want it to be figure out what I want to do as like a content creator in general because that's something that you will get typecasted into. Like if you get an acting role in a major film and you're the bad guy, you're typecasted as a bad guy role
Oh
there.
yeah.
So I want to pursue this authentically me as possible, but I have to understand if I finally have a video pop off, is that what I want to be known for doing forever? And I'm trying to approach it in a healthy way that long haul me would be
You're
happy.
treading
Does that make
carefully, is
sense?
what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, I'm planning. I'm still, but I'm also just like trying to keep up with it, trying to get good at it, and just see what works out of all the randomness too.
I've always found that that's kind of just being an artist. You got that's the goal of it. You throw everything in the wall. If it sticks, it sticks. I mean, I got a song coming out on my solo record called Bourbon in Kentucky. I played it live quite a bit. Do I want to be known for it? Not particularly. I'm not. I don't want to. I want to be taken seriously. I'm an earnest songwriter and a poet and all of that fun stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, if that winds up being my signature, that's my signature because here's the thing that George Lucas probably doesn't want to hear. Once it's out in the public, it doesn't belong to you anymore, really.
I mean, fair,
So
fair.
so I did want to jump back into the as far as the decline, and it's odd that a song called "The Decline" is just it doesn't seem to dip at all. So uh, put me on the ping pong table. What happened there?
Um, to be honest with you, I don't remember if that one particularly was something that Greg started off with musically that I wrote around, or if it's something I believe it was a hybrid of the two. Like I took some ideas that I had archived that I wasn't sure what to do with, and he had something. He was like, "Hey, how do you feel about this?" I'm like, "Okay, but what if you give it like something like this though?" And then we just kind of it was more involved ping pong. It was like the quick back and forth game, not the
Click, click,
not
click,
the
click, click,
far
click, click.
send. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It was yeah, that was definitely more of a I couldn't tell you if the chicken came first or the egg in that situation, but
there's a
I can
horrible
tell
joke I
you
know, and I'm gonna keep it in my back pocket. Keep going.
oh, keep it. Keep it. Oh my God, I'm queen of dad jokes. I just had a Facebook memory come up that said dyslexic man walked into a bra. And that's from 13 years ago, and I still thought it was gold.
Okay, you asked for it, kid. The what chicken and egg are laying down in bed. The chicken lights a cigarette and says, "Well, I guess that answers that question." But you were saying about the decline as I update my resume.
As we declined the joke. That's part of the song. No, I was just kind of I'm in my own little healing journey where like I kind of try to focus on different things about myself and what I can get better with. And the decline was written about like the dark places that your mind can go at night if you let your brain stray. Like it's easy to get distracted during the daytime, the sun's out, I'm with my friends, there's all these people around, I get, all that kind of serotonin, whatever. But when nighttime hits and you're alone with your thoughts, it's really easy just to spiral down. And this personified the spiral, essentially, almost giving it like a creature vibe to it. And that was the whole point of it.
Well, you mentioned the
It's just
goals as far as the social media is concerned. As far as the goals of future music at the moment, when's the next single, potential full album coming from Ruiness?
next single will be out as soon as I'm done editing the artwork. Almost done. So we'll have an official release date for it. It's called Ghost.
Okay.
You heard it here first, but yeah, it's think us but think jazz.
You but jazz. Okay. So
Yes.
when you say that and you mix rock immediately, I start thinking fusion almost like Chicago or something like that. Am I on the right track?
Guess you'll have to listen.
Okay, I guess I will. Well, Ariana, we have a nice way of closing here on the Craig-Veltri interview called the No Kidding Questionnaire. But since this is your second go around, you qualify now for the No Kidding Questionnaire 2.0.
Oh God.
Ariana, what sound or noise do you love?
Blurt laughs. Anyone that laughs really hard, one of my favorite things. Makes me laugh right away.
I've said this before. There are people in my family who have some of the all time great laughs. That is the thing that I will miss about them most when they are gone. So definitely one of mine. What sound or noise do you hate?
Chewing really loud when they're eating. I'm panicking. I don't know why I'm panicking. I'm just like I have to say the first thing that comes to head right away. I remembered it was a quick draw. But yeah, if someone chews really, really loud, like I understand, eat your food, but if you're just like nails on a chalkboard, to me.
Or better, the ones that still past a certain age are eating with their mouth open, doing it at the same time. So the other level of grossness. But
Just go like this. If the food's too hot or something, like if I think I need to keep my mouth open, I'm just like, hey, I'm sorry. I channel my inner
or
Japan
have to,
shows.
or have to answer something. Turn use your ventriloquism training. Use the upper palate and just start talking through your nose. Uh, what is the one song that you are not yet tired of playing, singing, or listening to? Like something you know.
Ignite.
Uh, what?
It's just fun.
It's just fun.
Well, it's the back and forth that Greg and I do, and that leading up to the last chorus there. It's just that edge, like getting to like do it more and more live. I feel like it's just getting more and more like raw and authentic. I'm like, let's go. So it's just more practice. I get more hype on the growth.
Tell me if you're running into this, do you ever find yourself doing a song for a very long time and after a while you're thinking to yourself, maybe we should go back in the studio and do it again because what we're doing with this, we should have been doing it in the first place.
Yeah, we have one we don't even play anymore. That's never been like recorded correctly. Like none of it. Yeah, we got rid of it. And I figured I'm like, I'm kind of just keeping that one in the pocket because I think it'd be funny if people like used to come out originally and like, hey, we're finally releasing this like years later. If we choose to do a rewrite of it, cool. And if not, it could just be one of those things that just it existed for a minute. It can die now.
See my entire first record, except
Ah!
for one song that made it onto the previous one. If reincarnation is real, what animal or organism do you hope to come back as?
I want to be an otter.
An otter. Those are
Yeah, I
adorable
don't know.
creatures.
Yeah, it just looks fun. They just look like they're always enjoying everything and they get to swim really
Hmm.
fast.
Are you somebody that prefers beach and lake vacations as opposed to the mountain or outdoors?
No, honestly, you won't catch me that far in the ocean. If I don't know what's underneath me, I'm out.
So the pool
No.
and nothing else.
Yeah, hot tub and baths.
I I'll leave that there. What is your favorite food to make at home?
I'm a sucker for soup.
Soup. Favorite soup?
Just it's like the perfect fridge clean out thing, but it's also my inner Italian just comes out and I'm like, what like wines can I use up to, whatever. And then I always have different broths and bouillons and everything on stock, so it's whatever.
So do you have you say it sounds like you have a system when it comes to your soup. So you have a favorite one.
French onion. I buy bags of onions and if I know they're gonna go bad soon, I'm like, well, gotta make a batch.
Otherwise the onions are going to start walking and then really make you cry. But Ariana, you mentioned your Italian background. This will be fun. What is your favorite curse word?
Quintessential fuck. Like fuck is just the OG, the goat.
And certainly a flexible one if you a versatile.
It works in any context.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, in its intended meaning, it's fun. If you were given, this is the last time we ever speak to each other. If you were given the choice, last
Yeah,
question.
third flash round.
Last question of the questionnaire. If you were given the choice between starting life with your current knowledge again at the age of 6 or $10 million, which would you take?
$10 million.
Not a
I don't want to
hesitation.
go through all that again.
You
No,
don't.
no, no. Because you're 6, you're a kid. They're just gonna be like, you're a kid, you don't know anything, and then you're gonna have to deal with that shit for like 12 years before people even kind of listen to you. No.
Like all of a sudden, you start hitting on Apple and Napster and become early investment in like Tesla, depending on what age 6 we're talking about here. And then still, you're gonna have to go to your room.
I know. And you have bedtime? Like what?
Uh, I can't watch R-rated movies. Why did I agree to this?
Yeah, oh
12
my
more
God, I
years?
can't have beer. They pushed back the age to smoke cigarettes.
Oh,
It's 21 now.
I forgot about that. Waiting.
Not that I smoke anyway, but it's just I like the choice. I like to say no on my terms.
I like to say no, but not because you told me to say no.
Yeah, it's because I can.
well, well, Ariana, as you know, this is the part of the program you should enjoy the most. Every guest should enjoy this most. It is time for shameless self promotion. You mentioned a new single, Ghost, coming out very, very soon. Where can we find it? Where can we find you? Plug your pluggables. Fire away.
Okay. So Ruiness, we have a website, www.ruiness.com, Ruiness. Everything streams on all streaming platforms. We are not picky. We do not discriminate. So just plug it in, check us out, and we'll keep you posted. I post a lot on Facebook and Instagram, particularly, trying to get TikTok rolling a little bit more. Fun fact, I am trying to sing random bits of Circus Survive songs and hope to catch their attention that they might let us open for them in Philly. So I've been plugging that in TikTok this week. So yeah, if you want to go check that out, that would help.
Well, you mentioned going to Philly. Are you venturing outside of Central PA? Are you going to be doing some touring at all this year?
We have some runs in the works. There's some life stuff going on with some members, good stuff, but just letting them have their moment in time with that early enough in the year before, pushing, all right, we're going back to boot camp, baby, and then cranking in more shows. So that's why I'm trying to do more of a media focus right now.
Hey, can't get out there and walk into towns as strangers doing this. This ain't the Blues Brothers. So Ariana, a pleasure as always, not merely to chat with you once again, but your music's killer. You got a fan in Pittsburgh for life. I adore your band. I adore you. Thank you so much for joining me here today on the Craig-Veltri interview.
Thank you so much, man. It's a pleasure.
The Craig-Veltri interview, where Craig-Veltri interviews wonderful people, is a production of Scarfire Media, the voice of the independent artist. Written and edited by Craig-Veltri. Your announcer is Megan Pennington. The opening theme, Shut Up, I Love You, written by Trenton Chandler and Craig-Veltri, performed by Craig-Veltri, produced by Jack Gavin. The new single, Inside the Cabin, the debut single from Moonshine Vagabonds, is available now. Inside the Cabin, the record due out March 28th. Time now to update the event calendar because you must know where I am at all times. Friday, March 13th, Moonshine Vagabonds will make an appearance on your Jagoff podcast here in Pittsburgh. We will be taking the thing around 4:30. The podcast proper will be dropping on Monday and will be available live as we shoot 4:30 on Friday the 13th. Then later that evening on Friday the 13th, to Fair Veroni, where we lay our scene and lay it down heavy for our friends at the Hula Bar, Megan and I, and Moonshine Vagabonds, from 8 to 11 p.m. For full dates, including Pittsburgh, Nashville, and New York City, visit my website, craig-veltri.bandschool.com. For booking info, including full band and this podcast, email me at craig-veltri@gmail.com. You can find the interview on Facebook by searching the Craig-Veltri interview, YouTube at Craig-Veltri Music, and you can find me on Instagram, or as my old roommate, the Tommy Thomas, used to call it, Instagirl, at craig.veltri. For Ariana Troni, I'm Craig-Veltri, and this has been the Craig-Veltri interview. With that, I'll pass. Here's a live performance of Ruiness, performed on WITF in Harrisburg. It's Ignite, the latest from Ruiness, on the Craig-Veltri interview, proud member of the Scarfire Media Podcast Network.